Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. We are live. Yes, I see you guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. Keep coming in. How are you today? Good evening and good morning, afternoon, whatever the time is, wherever you are. How are you doing today? Thank you for sharing some love there. Oh, I appreciate this so much. You guys are so welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. 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 I need to find a welcome song I'll be singing for you guys when you just join in. Yes, good evening. I need to find a welcome song. I'm going to think of something and I will sing it for you guys. All right, so you guys are welcome. How are you doing today? I trust your day has been good. All right, so I will tell you a little bit of what Single and Ready Club is about, and then we will get into the conversation for today. Okay, I will tell you what this program and all of this activity is about. Okay, so first of all, the Single and Ready Club is a virtual community. Basically, all we do is online. Okay, we're committed to upholding the family institution. We're big on family. We want to teach family and values and stuff like that. Okay, and we uphold the family institution by inspiring meaningful relationships. You may want to underline that word, meaningful relationships, and successful marriages. Okay, meaningful relationships to translate to successful marriages. Okay, and we do this by deliberate training, by deliberate teaching, and all of these sessions we're having. Okay, that is why we do what we do, so that somebody can learn, somebody can receive wisdom, can receive counsel as per their love relationship, and it can help them have a beautiful marriage. Our mantra is that a blissful marriage is possible and you deserve it. Okay, so if you have ever been discouraged or scared about getting married, you want to talk to us so that we can help put your mindset in the right frame so that you can be a great spouse to your partner, and then you can contribute your own part in making the marriage a blissful one. Okay, so there's nothing to be scared of. Talk to us and we would be glad to navigate you through the process. All right, so what we do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Nigerian time is the Love Code with Macy session. And here we pick very important topics about love and relationship, and we treat them. We treat them. We take our time to get into these matters, so that somebody somewhere can listen, can hear, can, find wisdom and find direction in what we are doing. Okay, so that's the idea of the Single and Ready Club and this special program, the Love Code with Maisie. All right, so that's what we're about. And for the month of June, we have been doing a very, very important and interesting topic called wrong reasons people get married. We started this the first Wednesday in this month, and we've taken so many points. I can't even go back to start touching on all those points. But what I'd just like to encourage you to do is to please try and refer to the past editions, okay, for this month. Listen to other things that we have said, about the wrong reasons people get married. And if you're not yet married and you're finding yourself in any of those, now, because I'm having to rush through these things, so there's a lot I could say, but I just try to drop a little points here and there. All right, but if there's anyone you find yourself in and you think you want us to discuss it, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be more than glad to discuss with you and help guide you and just make sure your relationship is poised towards the right direction. All right, do you like that? All right, then please make good on that offer. Okay, so we've been taking different points from when we started, and today I will jump quickly into it so that I can take as much as I can take today. Okay, because next Wednesday we'll be having the Q&A, the monthly Q&A session. Okay, so if you have any questions, also please start dropping them, start reaching out so that we can take your questions next week. Oh yes, someone says nice music on the background. Yeah, I would like to play music on the background, especially when we just start the session. So at some point I'm gonna have to turn down the music. All right. Yep. So are you guys ready? If you are ready to hear what we have to share today, please say ready. Just say ready. And we will be glad to jump right in. Okay? And this is that point where I turn the music down a bit so that we can focus on the conversation, and then for post-production reasons. All right? So there we go. All right. Yes. People are ready. Let's do this. Let's jump right into it. Very important. Okay. We've been running through so many topics. I wish I could go back on all of them, but we've done so far about 27 reasons. Okay, so I'll just continue from there. Yeah, I might not be, repping classic stoner. Okay, cool. I see you. You're very welcome. Thank you. All right, official Canesta, I see you. You're welcome. Okay, so let's jump straight into the points. Wrong reasons people get married. Okay. The first point for today is haste or emergency. And let me explain what I mean by that. You meet this guy, he's a great guy, he looks like everything you desired, and he tells you, for one reason or the other, we need to get married like immediately. We need to get married next week. We need to get married next month. And you guys just met. Okay, it's very important, for one reason, and there's so many reasons people give for some of these things, but it just comes with haste. Sometimes they do their best to work on other people around you first, so that once they make that proposal with the pressure from other people too, you're quick to give in, or your defenses are weakened. Okay, and it tells you, no, we have to do this immediately. 3 months, I want to get married in 3 months. As if you are the reason why he has not been married all his life so far. Now he meets you, you're still trying to get to know him, and he's telling you now, we have to get married now. We have to get married. Why? Because we just have to get married. I can't wait. I don't have time for a relationship. This is my age. I'm not playing here. This one, that one. And they just put you under so much pressure. Sometimes they tell you things like, because I'll soon be relocating to another country, so I want to be married before I get there. Or I'm processing documents and I need to be married, in that, for the processing of those visa documents and stuff like that. So it just comes suddenly, and then you meet somebody today, a few months down the line, they're telling you don't want to get married already. Not just that I want to marry you in the future, but that I want to marry you and marry you now. Okay, now these things happen, and if you find yourself in this kind of condition, you want to take it easy. You want to slow it down. Not because God does not answer prayers, not because Jehovah Sharp is not working on your behalf. Okay, but because wisdom is profitable to direct. You want to take your time and ask yourself, why is this person in a hurry? What exactly is the reason behind the reason? What is the reason he's not telling me? Why this haste? Why this suddenness? What if you didn't see me? Is this how you've been running around every other lady telling her you want to get married to her now? And then when she does not agree, you jump to the next one, you want to marry now. They say no, you jump to the next one, you want to marry now. Okay, you want to ask yourself, why the haste? Okay, and as a matter of fact, urgency and haste, is one of the ways that people trick people into fraud. All right, sometimes you see that you receive some of these phishing emails or text messages. They tell you a huge amount was deposited into your account, but you cannot claim it until you provide your ID, and you need to do this within the next 5 hours. And you see there's haste, there's urgency. Oh my God, if you don't do it in 24 hours, your account will be blocked. And you say, oh, it's true, I need to do this before they block my account. You see, that haste, that urgency is one of the tools for fraud. So when somebody comes with haste for marriage and tells you we must get married now, we have to get married right now. Hey, calm down, take it easy. You want to start asking a lot of questions. You want to pray. You want to ask God for discernment. You want to ask God for insight. You want to ask a lot of questions. Why is this guy in a hurry? Why is he in a hurry? Why does it have to be now? And like I said, take your time to ask a lot of questions. Even the person who is putting you under that pressure, ask him questions. Oga, why must we get married immediately? Why now? I mean, we met just a few days ago or just a few weeks ago, and then suddenly you want to get married. What if you didn't get married? What if you didn't see me? What if I didn't show up on the day we met? Okay, would you have been this sure that you needed to get married to whoever it was you met? So what is the point? Why the haste? Now, you need to take note of this. The challenge is that some young people, because they feel like they have waited and waited for long, once anybody, I almost said anything, shows up and says, I want to marry you, they just jump and start celebrating. Oh my God, by the time I come, oh my God has answered my prayer. Hey, listen. No. Don't get overexcited that you forget to do your due diligence. You need to settle down and ask questions and seek counsel. This is another thing young people do. You're supposed to seek counsel, but because it's looking too good, you don't want to believe that it could be wrong. And so you don't want anybody to tell you that this could be wrong. So that if you ask certain persons in your life, maybe the authority figures or your elder ones, or your pastors or your big brother, that if you ask those authority figures in your life, they'll tell you, hey, slow down, check this, check that, don't move at this pace, slow it down, let me meet with this person, let me ask so questions. You see, because there is a chance that if you expose other people to this development in your life, they will discourage you from it. You now deliberately refuse to involve other people. You see, this is how foolishness, used to advise people. Don't tell them, just stay, you know what you're doing. But most times when it goes south, when there is a problem, you start running back to these same people whom you ignored and who you disregarded. You did not listen to their advice, or you did not consult with them. When things go south, you start running back to this same person to say, come and help me, come and get me out of trouble. You see, but many times that if you spoke with them beforehand, they would have given you a perspective that may not be what exactly you want, but may be right for you. All right, someone says we don't want to hear. It's true. You see, truth comes, but many times we don't accept truth because we're not ready for it. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it. That's why they call truth bitter truth. Okay, because sometimes it's not palatable. It's not what exactly you want to hear. But you see, you need truth in your life. You need counsel. You need guidance. The Bible says in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. All right. So when somebody is talking to you and the person is putting you under pressure and, his person is in a haste for you guys to get married, please, that is a red flag. You want to slow it down. You want to look through very carefully. You want to ask God for discernment. You want to seek counsel and guidance before making commitment to such kind of pressure. All right. Sometimes, the person might, like I said earlier, get other people to back them up in this their pressure mountain, or pressure drive, and and they get your pastor, they get the people you respect, and they tell them, yes, you convince her, or convince him, as the case may be. You see, even though most times in the cases I've seen and heard, it's most times the guys who are putting the ladies under pressure for marry now, marry sharp, but you want to slow it down. You want to ask questions. All right, take note. Every other person who's telling you congratulations, they won't be there with you when the shit hits the roof. They won't be there with you when things start going south. They won't be there. You see, so you don't want to go just because every other person said go. You need your own conviction. You need that clarity. You need that peace in your heart. You need assurance. You need to hear from God. You want to be sure of this all-important next phase of your life. Are you ready to make this move with this person? If you don't have that level of clarity, please run away from that emergency marriage, from that hasty marriage. Don't do that. You don't take important decisions in your life in a hurry. I'll say that again. You don't take the important decisions in your life in a hurry. You want to carefully consult. You want to ask questions. You want to be properly guided. Weigh through the options. Weigh through the possibilities before you take a leap in that direction, before you make a commitment in that direction. So please, don't get married because somebody tells you, now I have this opportunity that it will expire in 2 weeks and I need to go with somebody. Oh yeah, marry me now, let's go together. Oh, I have this vacation ticket for 2. Oh, marry me now so that 2 of us can go for just a vacation that will finish very soon, and then reality will set in. After that vacation, what will happen? What will happen to the rest of you, to the both of you rather, when you now see that you can't live with this person? You see, so don't make important decisions in your life in a hurry. No, you want to settle down and say, he has an opportunity. If I don't get married to him now, he will just go. He will travel without me. Let the person travel, settle down. Okay, if you don't have peace about that matter, about that person, then don't get into that relationship. Now, the next point looks like this one too. Okay, and this is where people want to get married because marriage is prerequisite for particular positions or opportunities in their lives. Okay, now the difference between this and the earlier point I mentioned is that this one might not be, they might not be in a hurry. The only thing is that the only reason they want to get married is that if I don't get married now, I can't get this position, I can't get this nomination for chieftaincy title, for ordination in my church, for a particular role, a particular leadership. People will not think I'm serious. So let me get married so that I can qualify for that role. Now, the challenge with that is that so some people who are in this situation, they really don't care about the quality of partner they are looking to get married to, because all they're thinking of is themselves. All they're thinking of is, I need to tick this box in my life right now. Okay, so they don't pay attention to the quality of persons coming. Sometimes they even want people whom they can suppress and control, just so that this area of their life is going on as planned, as desired. They don't care about any other person. Most times it's selfish. And the challenge with that, like we always say, once you are looking with the wrong reasons or in the wrong direction, you are most likely going to pick the wrong person. Okay, so if you know that marriage is important for a particular dream or aspiration of yours, start taking your time to walk the process. Don't just look for anyone you can manipulate into getting married to you just now. All right. If you're the one trying to put people under pressure, you want to stop doing that. If you're the one being put under pressure, please, you want to be wise and, pull back from the influence of that pressure. Like I have said, ask questions, consult. Okay. Don't take important decisions in your life in a hurry. Let me move on to the next point. Now, this next point is just so beautiful. All right. Many people get married to the wrong persons because they are in love. Then somebody would ask me, are you saying you shouldn't get married to somebody you're in love with? Is that what I'm saying? I mean, why shouldn't I marry someone I'm in love with? Okay, now let me break this down for a little bit. Okay, I'm not saying don't get married to somebody you're in love with. All I'm just saying is you need to even be sure that what you have is love. You need to even understand what love is and what love is not. Okay, and you also most importantly need to understand that it takes more than love, okay, as per the feelings of it, which is most likely what it is, to run a successful marriage. You need wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for a successful marriage. It takes more than those feelings you call love. Okay, so now take note. When many people describe love, all they are describing is an emotional state, a state of affection, the feelings that they share towards somebody, okay, the feelings they have for somebody. Many times when people describe love, they are describing those feelings of attraction. In some cases, those feelings of lust. And infatuation many times is what people describe as love, okay? And we have shared about this, so I will not even go again to break this down. If you refer to our sessions in February, what we talked about unbundling love, we looked at all or a number of things that love is not, and we also looked at what love is in the month of March, and we continued that through April, okay? So please, you want to take that. I wish you can just go after this session, watch some of those past sessions on unbundling love and then expounding love, okay? But the summary of what we said is that love is not feelings. However, there are feelings of affection, okay, that are contained in love, but you cannot describe love as feeling. That would be reducing it to just a tiny little part of the components in love, because love is more than feeling, okay? We said love is a deliberate, intentional, willful commitment to add value to someone else's life for the rest of their lives. And even if you're not getting rewarded for that, so if this person is not doing for you back the way you're doing for them, okay, you're very nice to him, but he's not nice to you back per se, he doesn't give you in the same measure that you give to him, are you willing to stay committed to this person for life? Listen to me, if the answer is no, then you have not done anything wrong. That is your answer. You need to be sure that whoever you're saying you're loving, you're willing to commit to that person for life. And this is important because beyond the good days you have now, there may be bad days. There will be bad days. There will be days that there will be misunderstanding. All right. If you don't have that solid commitment in your heart, that intentional one to add value to this person's life, when the feelings go down, there goes the marriage. You see, but when you know that this thing is beyond how I feel, love is not just how I feel. Love is deliberate. Love is intentional. It's a decision I have made. I stay here and I make it work here. When things are not going as fine as you want them to go, you remember that commitment and you stay put in that commitment. You see, you stay there instead of complaining. At best, you're praying for your partner. You're seeking counsel. You're seeking ways that this thing can work. You're not picking a fight all the time. You're not looking for the way out just because now you feel angry. All right. No, you're staying there because you have made a commitment to make this thing work. That is what love is. Okay. And like I said earlier, you need to invest in wisdom. Wisdom is the right application of knowledge. You cannot apply knowledge if you don't understand it. That is why those three always go together: knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. All right, you need to have knowledge. All right, you need to have understanding, and then you need to have wisdom. In Proverbs 24 verse 3 and 4, it says, "For by wisdom a house is built, by understanding it is established, and by knowledge its rooms are filled with beautiful treasures." Marriage is like that home. If you want to have a beautiful marriage, irrespective of the attraction or the sexual drive you have towards that person, beyond that, do you have wisdom? Do you have knowledge? Do you have understanding about critical matters of life? I like to say very quickly about yourself, about your spouse, about what marriage is, what love is, what family is. Do you understand these things? Do you know how to resolve conflicts? Do you know how to communicate with your spouse? Do you know these things? These are things you want to learn. Don't take it for granted. These are things you want to learn so that you can have a beautiful home. You see? So it's beyond the feelings of attraction, which you call love. Okay, it's beyond the feelings of attraction. It's beyond the sexual feelings, it's the urges you have towards that person. That's lust. That is not love. Okay, so if you say, "Oh, because I am in love with this person, let me get married," then you may get married and somewhere down the line discover that you guys are completely incompatible. You guys are speaking different languages. You guys are facing different directions. As a matter of fact, you start asking yourself, how did I ever even consider getting married to this person? Have you seen some of those situations before? You may have known one or two persons who, when you look at them and their spouse, you wonder what business did these two ever have together. But guess what? If you rewind to a few years down the line, when they first met and when they were planning their wedding, oh, they were all lovey-doveys. Oh, they were all over the place. And you say, "Oh, God, when?" You see, many of you saying, "God, when?" You don't know that what you should actually be saying is, "Thank you, Lord, for delivering me from this situation." Because if you know what those people are about to start experiencing in that home, you see, you won't be saying, "Lord, when." You'll be interceding, "God, save them." You see, so you don't want to just look at what people are doing and use that to put pressure on yourself. "Oh, they look so beautiful. Oh, these ones look like they love themselves." You're not in the house with them. When the problems come, when the challenges come, you are not there. You don't even know what's going on because they come outside and they're smiling and they're taking cute pictures. Okay, important thing I'm saying is, beyond the feelings, you want to invest in knowledge, wisdom, understanding, so that you can instruct yourself properly. All right. So don't be moved by, "Oh, I feel like I'm in love." Many people who have gotten married because they were in love have also crashed out of love. And guess what? Because they did not learn, because they did not, find what the root of the issue was, they got into another marriage, continued the same thing down the line, and it was just a circle. All right. And you're saying, why is that won't happen? I mean, that should not happen in marriage. Look at the relationship you're having right now. How many relationships have you been in? What were the reasons why you got into them? Is it not likely the same kind of reasons? Feelings, attraction, lust. You jumped in. After a while, it did not work. You got into another one. Feelings, attraction, lust. You jumped in. After a while, it did not work. You got into another one. So are you not saying it's almost the same thing? What guarantee do you have that when you get married with this same ritual, the marriage is going to be different? You see, these are some of the hard truths that people are afraid to confront. You want to ask yourself this question: why have all my relationships been failing? All right, you want to think about it. Why have they not worked? Why do I seem to always meet the wrong kind of people? Why do I never meet people who are serious? You want to take your time and think through some of these things and consult, okay, and build capacity, and also learn to trust and appreciate the wisdom of God and wait for his timing. You see? All right, let me move on to the next one. But please, just because you think you are in love, which may just be feelings, lust, infatuation, and attraction, does not mean that you should get married. But if you find somebody with whom, all right, you guys share that willful, deliberate, intentional commitment, your values are in sync, you're compatible, spirit, soul, body, why not? Give it a shot at marriage. All right, so let me move on. The next point is just like the previous one. Some people get married because they are good friends. Now, let me say this. You see, all of these reasons have been given, right? Some of them in themselves may not be bad, all right, may not be wrong. The only thing that makes them wrong sometimes is the fact that that is all you have exalted. That is all you are thinking of. And there are a few other things you should have thought of, but you did not think of adequately. So there are some points like that. Like this one I just said. Of course, if you're good friends with someone, that should make it easier for you guys to get married, right? Oh, yes. But then marriage is some level deeper than friendship. Okay? So you may be close to someone as best of friends, all right? You guys understand yourselves, you guys laugh together, you play together, and all of that stuff. But marriage is beyond both of you. When you guys get married, your family members are going to be involved, okay? When you guys get married, you're going to be exposed to more qualities about this person that you never saw before. Those qualities were there, but at the friendship level, it may not have been a thing to you. You might not have bothered yourself at the friendship level. But now that it's becoming a relationship, certain things you didn't care about before, now you would care about them. For example, when you guys are just normal friends, if he calls you and you don't pick, he doesn't mind. I beg, this girl not a quick picker phone. What's wrong with herself? But when you guys are now in a relationship, he calls you, you don't pick, it's problem. I called you. Why didn't you pick? Where are you? Why are you always missing my calls? Why didn't you return the call? You see, as little as that, it can cause problems. Why? Because now feelings of affection are now involved in this. You see, small things you could have been able to overlook at the friendship level may now be more significant at the relationship level. So just the fact that you are good friends does not mean you must get married to yourselves. As a matter of fact, I advocate for pure friendships. All right. People should be able to have friends with members of the opposite sex with no strings attached. Professional conversations, courtesy, courteous, kind, ethical behavior. It does not have to be romantic. Do you understand? Yeah, it doesn't have to be romantic. Why? So that at that level, you can thoroughly, as it were, assess that person and know how good or not they are for marriage. So if this person is already your good friend, that's a great thing. But then you want to look a little beyond the friendship. What about his or her family members? Can you marry into that family? Can you be identified with that family? Would you be okay and comfortable and glad and excited to be involved in that family? You want to think about it, because marriage is beyond both of you. Yes, it's two of you who will live in the house, but this person you're getting married to has a family he or she came out from. You cannot ignore that. All right. So am I saying that even if both of you had the chance to be a great couple, but because of certain differences in your families, which you think are beyond you, to resolve or handle, am I saying that could be a reason you don't want to get married? Oh, yes, that could be a reason. That could be a reason, because when these challenges start coming, when these pressures start coming, especially when you have not learned how to handle your family, how to handle, your in-laws, how to relate, how to, especially when you don't know how to navigate these things, it could be a problem. It could spoil that marriage. It could tear that love apart. It could tear that marriage apart. But not because you guys were not friends. Yes, as friends, you guys were cool. But when it's going to become marriage, there's a lot more you want to consider. You want to ask a little bit more questions. You want to look a little bit more critically. All right. Like I said, you want to start looking at this person's weaknesses and how they impact on you. You want to start looking at this person's family and how they impact on you. Okay. As friends, there are things you would overlook. But as a couple, you're now going to be living together. This weakness is always going to be in your face. Can you cope with it? You want to look into all of those things. And if you look at those things and it doesn't look like it can work with that person, then please do yourselves a favor and stay as good friends. Not all good friendships must become marriage. Let me say it again. Not all good friendships must become married. At the end of the day, typically you're going to get married to just one person. Okay. So don't think that once you start having a very cordial and great friendship with somebody, it has to become a relationship. It does not have to become a relationship. I need to say this over and over again because there are some people, some of you here, and some people who will listen to this later. Once they get close to somebody, it has to become a relationship. You're thinking of kissing, you're thinking of smooshing. You don't have to do that. You can be friends and you send each other great messages. You know, you're there for each other, you support each other, you help each other grow in your career path, you help each other become better persons for their own life. Okay. You can have great friendships that don't have romance involved in them. Please, I need to emphasize this. Okay. Take note that you can be friends with someone and it must not become a relationship. You need to know that. You can be great friends. In fact, nothing stopping you from getting into the relationship, but you just tell yourselves that it is not time and we are not even convinced that we're the right persons for each other. This is very important. You need to be able to have that level of emotional maturity to tell yourself, yes, I know I'm close to this girl, but doesn't mean we must become an item. Doesn't mean we must get into a relationship. She's a great girl. She'll find a great person. And maybe I'm not the one. You know, it doesn't have to be me. I hope somebody's understanding this. This may just set you free from that pressure you're putting on yourself because somebody is close friends with you. You think it must become a relationship. Okay. You have a colleague who is very close to you. You start dating that one. You have another person in church who is very close to you. You start dating that one. You have another person you meet every time you're going to, maybe you're commuting to work. You enter the same staff bus, you know, but the person's in another branch. Because you guys get close, you start dating that one. You know, once you meet anybody that is a good person, you start dating. What kind of problem is that one now? That's how confusion starts. That's why when it's time to get married, you say, oh, you are just confused. You're looking all over the place. No, people can be great friends, but they don't have to be in a relationship with you. Ask questions. All right. I've said so much about this. Let me move on to the next point. This one, I know I've said something about this before. Someone says, I got married because I could not resist that beautiful engagement ring. Okay, someone says village problem. Oh yes, you have missed too, but don't worry. From now that you've joined, just join the flow, all right? And then you can watch the other parts that you missed later. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, someone says, I got married because I couldn't resist that beautiful engagement ring. And then I laugh. Why am I laughing? Because what you're getting married to is the ring in your mind. You don't know that it's a human being you're getting married to. That ring does not represent the beauty of this person's character. The ring does not represent a beautiful marriage. The ring, the only thing it does for you is probably the pictures and the feeling it gives you that you're wearing a beautiful ring, or that people see you and they say, oh, see that ring. You know this odd thing that you ladies used to do and just put people into trouble. Because of ring. Yes, these are real things. Okay. The ring may be beautiful, but if you are not convinced that this person's life is more beautiful than that ring, please don't get in. I'll say it again. The ring may be beautiful, but if you are not convinced that the quality of this guy's life is greater than that, is better than that ring, please don't get in. Someone says bell ringer. You know, you don't want to do that. Yes, it may be a beautiful ring, maybe a very expensive one. Please, look at the quality of life, of quality of character of the person presenting that ring. Okay? If he does not represent the qualities you want, irrespective of the gift or the ring, please don't get married for just that reason. Some say, oh, he even proposed with a car. It's not just the ring. Please. You see, when people run after material things, you know, part of the things you're telling yourself that you will never be great in this life and you will never be able to afford that thing unless you collect it from this person. That's what you're saying. Because why should you lose guard because somebody gave you money, because somebody gave you a car? That means you're saying to yourself that under normal conditions, you will never be able to afford these things. So now that somebody has gifted me, this is the best thing in my life, let me collect it because I'm not a great person, because I will never be rich, because I'll never be able to afford it. You need to think about it like that. So that you know that You don't jump into wrong decisions because of the perks attached to them. You don't do that. It's your life you're mortgaging. It's yourself who will face the trouble. You're the one who will dance to the rhythm when it starts. Okay, so you can't say because he gave me a beautiful ring, oh my God, I'm going to get married to him. No. Keep ring in one corner. Look at this person's life. Look at the quality of decisions he has been making. Do you understand? Look more deeply than the superficial. Again, probe. Ask questions. If you are jumping into a relationship strictly because of the things you will gain, it was the first point we said, though. That's selfish. When we said the word's in need for me, you know, that's why you want to get married, because it's like I will benefit from this person, I'll benefit from this person's family. It's selfish. And you're also telling yourself that you will not be great all by yourself. So you need to leverage on somebody else. You need to leech on someone else for your definition, for your success, you know, for your greatness in life, for your wealth and riches. You need to leech on someone else because God cannot bless you. I mean, you don't have what it takes. So, I mean, let me feed off somebody. That's what you're saying to yourself. So please, if the ring likes, let it be beautiful. If they like, let them add a very nice wine and a beautiful car or a nice wristwatch or whatever it is. Please, if the quality of the individual's life is not of greater value to you than the material gift, then reject that gift, reject that proposal, and move on with your life. One of the points we took earlier is people getting married simply because he asked, will you marry me? So because somebody said, will you marry me? The answer has to be yes. The answer can be no. Don't you know that for questions, for goodness sake, it can swing both ways? It can be yes, it can be no, it can be maybe, it can be not now. It can be give me time. So you don't just say yes because somebody is asking you out. You don't just get married because he proposed. Let me move on. All right, I hope somebody is getting something. Yeah, I've treated this somehow before. Someone says I want to get married because age is not on my side. Age is not on my side. Meanwhile, when you go to church, when they say, who is on the Lord's side? You will say, I'm on the Lord's side. You even sing it. I am on the Lord's side, and the Lord is on my side. As long as I live, I'm on the Lord's side. But you're on the Lord's side, but because you think age is not on your side, you start running into wrong decisions. Listen to me. You are the one who is not on your side. It's not age. Because listen and listen again. You are not in competition with anybody. Don't measure your life by any other person's level of progress or accomplishment. Don't measure your life by what any other person has. You're not in competition with anybody. Who told you should get married at this age because every other person got married at this age? Who told you must get married at this time or from this part of town because every other person you're looking at got married from that part of town or at that time of their lives? Okay, listen to me. You be on your side. If age is not on your side, you be on your side. Focus on your life. Focus. Ask yourself, was it only for marriage that God sent me into this world? Will my life not be fulfilled if I don't get married? You want to ask those kind of questions sometimes. You know, I remember once, I was speaking with someone who had this kind of feeling of, age is not on my side kind of things, And I asked her, I said, okay, so what will happen to you if you don't even get married at all? What will happen? Does it mean that your life will no longer be significant? Does it mean that you have not achieved anything in life? Does it mean that your entire goal in life has been defeated? And if that is what it means to you, then we need to revisit what your belief systems are. We need to revisit, the kind of things that you have made important in your mind, because those are disempowering. Okay, we need to start looking at all of those things. If you don't get married, what will happen? I'm asking you now. If you don't get married, what will happen? Does it mean that you're going to live a life less of what God designed for you? Does it mean that you will never achieve anything? Does it mean you will never be happy? Don't forget, there is no special happiness inside the marriage. It's the one you bring yourself that you will use inside your marriage. I said this thing before when I talked about the point of those who want to get married because they want to get happy in marriage. There's no special happiness. Listen, I'm not saying that there are no happy moments in marriage. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, yes, there will be happy moments, but there will also be unhappy moments. There will be irritating moments. There will be annoying moments. All of those things are part of the package. If you don't bring enough of your own happiness to be able to pull yourself out of depression, anger, and all of those things, resentment, and all of those evil emotions, okay, if you don't have your own, you will not find it in marriage. In fact, your partner might not even contribute to helping you becoming a better person. So if you don't have your own, you might be in trouble. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay? So you don't get into marriage because you are thinking that it's going to get better when we go there. Focus on yourself right now. What are the dreams in your heart? What are the things you have been gifted with? What are the solutions that will come out of you? What are the things that God has placed on your inside that you can share with other people? What are the ways you can be a blessing to your world? You need to think like that. You need to expand your mind and stop this myopic, small-minded thinking all about yourself and how you are feeling right now, what's going on in your life. And stop that. Many of you will not be able to move to the next level of your life if all you keep doing is looking at where you are now. You need to expand your view. You need to look beyond yourself. There are people out there who need your services. There are people out there who need to listen to you. There are people out there who need to use your solutions. You need to start thinking of how to put solutions, on the table for other people. Put a smile on other people's face. Bring joy to other people's lives. Bring fulfillment to other people's lives. You need to be busy with that. Listen to me. While you are busy with that, God knows exactly where and how to locate you with the person you will get married to. Don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself. If all the people coming right now, yes, I understand you may be getting older, and all the people coming right now, there is no peace in your heart with regards to any of them. Please, don't go and jump in simply because age is not on your side. Please, be on your side, even if age is not on your side. Be on your side. And like you say, you are on the Lord's side. Trust in the Lord. The Bible says he is never late. He is never slow, as some people consider slackness. God is not slow concerning his promises. Do you believe the word of God? Do you trust the wisdom of God? And like I like to ask people, there are several blessings in your life. If you look through your life, there are so many things you have to be grateful for. There are so many things that God did for you that you did not have to pray about. If God could bring all those blessings your way, do you think it is a husband he cannot bring your way? Do you think it is a wife he cannot bring your way? You see? So you have to deal with that internal pressure that tells you I'm getting old, or hey, things are not going to work for me. Oh, there are no good men out there. No, there are several. There are several. All right? And if you're ready to stay the path, keep trusting God, he will provide one at the right time. All right? Don't compare yourself with another person. Don't compete with any other person. If people are mocking you, let them mock. Your God will answer them in the fullness of time. You focus on yourself and your vision and what God has placed in your heart. Focus on it and excel at it. You'll be amazed how many offers you'll get for marriage while you are busy doing what God has placed in your hands to do. As a matter of fact, if you're a man, like I like to say, focus on work. God gave man work before woman. So focus on work, focus on vision, focus on what God has placed on your inside. I cannot overemphasize this thing. It's very important. Some people have never been serious with God all their lives until they discover that, oh, now I'm getting old and I don't have a life partner. Let me go and start getting serious with God now. Let me go and start going to church. Maybe I might just see my life. But that is all the reason people go to church. No, if you're like that, please, you want to repent. You want to go to church because you want to have a personal relationship with God. You want to understand what he has said about you. You want to find out more about God and how it impacts on your life. You want to make that personal spiritual progress. Do you understand? Not just because of what God will do for you or what he will give to you. The Bible says after Jesus fed the multitude with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, when he crossed over to the other side of the river, there were multitudes waiting for him there. Why? Because we heard that guy, they share fish and bread for a program. You see, there are many people who will only run to God when they know that, I have need, they'll come and meet my need. But beyond that, don't you think you should have a relationship with him? Don't you think you need to know him better? Don't you want to know what he has said about you? Don't you want to be exposed to all of the blessings God has for you? It's not just bread and fish God can give you. He can give you a full life, a new life, a beautiful life, more greater, better than what you desire for yourself. He can surpass your imagination. That's what the Bible says. So you want to trust God that well, and don't allow pressure and society and all those negative things you're thinking of put you under pressure, and the disempowering and disadvantaged point of view about yourself that my age is not on my side. Please be on your side if age is not on your side, and trust God. Focus on yourself, and in the fullness of time you will find your partner. All right, now this is another point. I'm moving on to the next point now. Okay, yes, somebody put that scripture there. Thank you so much for sharing this, Philzenda. Romans 8 verse 32. God, who did not spare his own son, but freely gave him up for us all, how will he not with him freely give us all things? Husband and wife join. Thank you so much for putting that there. Yes, if God gave you Jesus, is it husband he cannot give you? And as a matter of fact, what the scripture actually means is that when God gave you Jesus, he gave you everything. It's not like he gave you this one first. When you need the other one, he cannot provide it. Then when you need another one, he cannot provide another one. When you need another, no. In giving you his best, who is Christ, he gave you everything. Husband and wife inside. Thank you for putting that dimension to it. Thank you so much. You see, someone says desire God's heart more than his hand. Exactly. Don't just be moved by your needs per time. That's a very selfish relationship with God. Oh, I want God to, I was telling someone recently that you see some people and you think they are very prayerful, but it's because of all the problems and needs in their life. Once those needs are met, they take vacation. Till the next problem, they come back and resume prayer meeting. Don't be like that. Okay? Don't be like that. Seek to have a relationship. Seek to receive his love and grow in the knowledge of who God is. Okay? The more you know God, the more you know yourself. Okay? As you look into his word, you become a better person. That's how to prepare for marriage. Not running up and down looking for who will marry you and who you will marry. Okay? This next point I was going to say. Now, some people get married because their partner's family members love them and have already accepted them. So let me put it this way. You don't really like this guy, but his mom likes you. His brothers are cool with you. His sisters are really cool with you. My God, they love it when you come around. Oh, you guys go shopping together. You guys just have a nice time with them. Family members. What about you? When you get married, you won't get married and be living with all of those other people that like you. It's the husband you marry that you live with. If his family members think you are good and fine for their wife or for their sister or daughter or for their brother rather, do you think you want to get married to this person? Hey, our wife, thank you. Our wife, oh, all of them call you our wife. Does it mean that you would have a beautiful marriage with this guy? Does it mean that you can live with him? What if you guys are so different? And this is, I spoke about friendship before. This is one way that happens, where people are friends, and then as friends, as teenagers, they go to each other's houses, their parents, everyone knows everyone, So because they already know you in his house, you think, oh, it will just make a good home. Meanwhile, both of you know that you are facing two opposite directions. You know that on any matter of opinion, two of you are always on opposing sides. Always. On any matter of opinion. Just ask one question now, he will say left, you will say right. You know that there are reasons why you don't want to do life with this person. But because the family and friends say you guys look good together, you say okay. That is a wrong reason to get married. Because at the end of the day, they will not be there when those qualities you don't like start playing out in the person. They won't be there when this person starts giving you palaver and wahala. They won't be there when the issues start coming up. You see? So, if the family members already like and accept you, and you have not accepted the person they are presenting to you, please, you don't have to get married. Now, it's not only, the lady who is accepted in the man's house. I also know of cases where, the lady's parents and family members are already in love with the man that she is friends with. They want him to come into the family. The girl has not even decided whether she wants to marry him. Parents have married the girl on her behalf. Yes. And I've heard someone say that too. That, oh, her mom loves me more than she loves me. In fact, the mom wants her to marry me more than she wants to marry me. You see, if you're in that kind of situation, it's not the mother you're marrying, no. It's the girl. If she doesn't love you that much, don't force yourself on her. Don't think that because you have gotten other people on your side, now she must agree. And this is another challenge too. Some people, you have not successfully convinced the person you're asking out. You go and start playing a sharp one. You go and you reach out to her sister, reach out to her friend, reach out to her cousin, reach out to her younger brother, you reach out to her father, you reach out to her mother, so that all of them will be on your side first. Then all of them will put pressure on her to now agree for you. Please, that's the wrong move to make. Win her heart first. Win her heart first and let her by herself introduce you when necessary to other members of her family. There are people who go around sniffing. The moment you discover, oh, she has this elder brother, you go and write that one on Facebook. You just start looking out for the people around them so that you can start talking to those people and use all of those ones to manipulate her into agreeing for you. That's a wrong move to make. That's manipulation. Let her believe in you. Win her heart. When you can successfully do that, then let her introduce you to the expanded members of her family. Okay? Don't just go and start running up and down and you want to get everybody to now muzzle her into agreeing for you. If her family members love you and she does not love you, please don't marry her. She's the one you'll be with in the house. Don't be like those people that did, there's this comedy audio show those days, Bolanle. Somebody wrote a love letter to Bolanle and then Bolanle's house girl saw the letter, gave it to Bolanle's mother. Bolanle's mother read it, gave it to the father. The father read it. Now, all of them in the house are falling in love with him. Okay? So, everybody is in love with Loverboy. And Bolanle has never seen the letter that they wrote to her. Okay? Point is, if the family members like you, love you, accept you, they already call you in-law, our wife, and all those things, but yet, you know that this person that they are pairing you with, you still have your problems with him or her. You are not convinced that this is the person for you. Please don't bow to the pressure of everybody said we look good together, or the family have already accepted me, or they say they like me very much, therefore we must get married. Don't bow to that pressure. Hold your ground. Okay? And if last you're convinced that this thing is not going to work, please feel free to let them know in the most respectful way you can that I appreciate all the love and acceptance, but please, this relationship between me and your son or me and your daughter is not going to work, okay, for so reasons. If you like, if you don't have to give reasons, all good and fine. But point is, don't coerce yourself into a relationship simply because the family members already want you there. All right? Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, let me I think I can take 2 more points with the remaining time we have. All right, so the next point I'll take is, don't get into marriage because you believe that when you are married, your partner will now be committed to you. So you are getting married so that the marriage will coerce your partner to be committed to you. In fact, this is heartbreak overdose loading. If someone is not committed to you in a relationship, it is not marriage that will make them committed to you. I'll say it again. Whatever commitment means to you, if you're not getting it in a relationship with someone, it is not in marriage that you will get it. So don't think that when we get married, she will now be respecting me. She has not been respecting you as a guy. She has not been respecting you in the relationship. But you believe when you are married now, she will respect you. Unless what you have in mind is that when she does not respect you, you will beat her. Unless that's what you're planning, to be physically abusive, which is all wrong, by the way. If not, my point is, if she's not respecting you now, don't think that she will get it in the marriage. Let her go and learn respect first. Some people are very rude, very saucy, very disrespectful. Let that lady go and learn it first. Don't say when I marry her, then she will now learn it. No way. All right? If the man is not committed in the friendship, in the relationship, Don't say when we are married, he will become committed. I don't know why people think like this. In fact, you that you are thinking it, you know something is wrong with that thought, but you just hold on to it. No problem, let's marry first. Let's marry. Well, I know how to hold him. I know how to hold him. I know how to control him. When we are married, my husband, when I will hold him, I go put him head for yeah. There's not. It's a lie. You can't do anything. That bad behavior will still come out, and you'll be frustrating yourself. So if there are things you know you cannot cope with, don't even bother getting into marriage thinking that because you are now married, this person will behave the way you want them to behave. No. Somebody has been behaving in a particular way for all the years of his life or her life. Then you believe that just now that you're getting married, she will just change automatically or he will change automatically. You're joking. If there are addictions that your partner has not dealt with now, don't think that because you people are married, he will now deal with those addictions. Those addictions are addictions, single or married, irrespective. If it's a bad behavior, it's a bad behavior, whether single or married. Bad behavior is bad behavior. So if you don't deal with it while you're single, there's no guarantee that it is marriage that will make it change. You know, and this is the same thing that some young ladies think when they say, let me get pregnant for him so that he will take the relationship seriously. Somebody never took you seriously all this time. You believe that it is when you get pregnant for him that he will now take you serious. There's no guarantee that you get that. You may be lucky if you get that, but there's no guarantee you'll get it. And by the time he discovers he's being used, he may get tired of you. He may just get tired of you and start giving you a man of terrible attitude. You see, so please, if there's no commitment in the relationship right now, there is no guarantee that there will be commitment in the marriage. I will stop here because of time. I won't go further. Okay. If you have enjoyed today's session, please feel free to drop a review, just drop a message or just say something there in the comment section. Okay, you guys have been really lively today and I enjoyed every bit of the interaction. Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. Please be on the lookout for us every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Nigerian time. You know, try and save it in whatever your own time is so that you don't forget our live broadcasts. All right, God bless you. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. See you next time. Bye.